Welcome to this Systemeio tutorial. I'm Alex with Lover Fighter Writer, and today we're going to look at how to use Systemeio's email marketing. So the first thing that we need to understand in order to understand how email marketing works and how email marketing works in Systemeio specifically is how contacts work. So under the contacts menu item, we have contacts and tags. So we'll go to contacts first. And there's three ways that you can get contacts into your CRM here. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and there's basically three ways that you can get people in here. You can create a contact, and I'll just add a fake one here. All right, so we need at minimum the email and the language, and then we can add tags. We can add a bunch of other information, including custom fields, and then we can save the contact. And then over here, we can filter using a variety of different filters, including the contact state, whether they're subscribed or unsubscribed, whether they were referred by an affiliate, and their activity. But I'm not going to get too much into that, at least not now. Let's take a look at tags first. So in tags, it's very simple. You can add a new tag, name the tag. I'm just going to call it tag, and save. And now we have tag that we can work with later on, which is going to be important when we get to certain more advanced functionality. And the next area that we need to look at in the dashboard here is emails. So under emails, you have newsletters, you have campaigns, and you have statistics. I'm not going to look at statistics today because that's I don't have anything there to look at. I haven't been sending any emails, and also because it's not super important for actually using it. It is important that you look at your email statistics once you get going with email marketing, but just for the purpose of getting you started, I'm not going to look at that today. So we'll go to newsletters first. And newsletters are one-time emails that you send. Well, you can schedule them ahead of time, or you can send them immediately, and they're just one-time messages. Then campaigns, on the other hand, are actually groups of messages. It can be one message, it can be more than one, and they are sent out sequentially whenever they're triggered. And in order to create a trigger, we go to automations, and we have rules and workflows here. Now, a rule is a little bit simpler to understand. Basically, if you go to create a rule, you have a trigger and an action. So a trigger can be a lot of different things. It can be when a tag's added, tag's removed, and the one that we're going to work with today, and probably the one that we'll work with the most in these Systemeio tutorials, is funnel step form subscribed. So this is when someone opts into your funnel. And so once we have that, then we need to choose the funnel that we want it to be in, and we need to choose the specific page of that funnel that we want to use. And then we need to add an action, and this is what happens once the trigger is triggered. Once the trigger is activated, something happens over here. And this is where we would say subscribe to campaign. And then, of course, you choose the campaign, and you say save rule. And so now I have a rule that says anytime someone subscribes to this particular funnel step in this particular funnel, they will receive the email campaign that I have set up. All right, and workflows are basically a series of rules that have other capabilities as well. So if we just go to create here, we need to name our workflow. I'm just going to call it workflow, say create, and then if I click on it, it'll come in here, and you can see it much like a rule, it starts off with a trigger. So we need to choose a trigger. We'll say tag added, and the tag, we only have the one, so we'll use tag. And then here I can add an action based off that trigger. I can add a decision, which is a split path based on person or segment criteria. And I can add a delay. So I'm just going to add a quick delay. We'll say make a delay of 3 minutes. And then we'll add an action, which will be to send an email. But we don't have any newsletters right now, so we can't use that. And you can actually send webhooks from here. So this is how you would, you can do this in rules as well, but this is how you would connect to an app like Zapier or Integromat if you wanted to have things happening outside of Systeme. And you can also send an email to a specific email address, which would be like a way of notifying yourself potentially, or notifying someone else that something had happened. And you can enroll them in a course. So we'll just say subscribe to campaign again, because we have a campaign. Create. And then I can add another delay, say 1 day. And then we could add a decision, just so you can see what these look like. And so basically you choose a filter, and I'll just go with tag because we have a tag. And so we can choose contact tagged with, or contact not tagged with, or without a tag at all. And then we can just need to select the tag that we want. And we can actually add multiple conditions. So I can do this. I can choose another filter, say created at, greater than or equal to, equals less or equal than, and put a date. And then once I've got all the conditions that I want, I just say create. And so you can see that this actually splits the flow. So it's, if someone has the tag and they've subscribed after a certain date, then they would go down the yes path, and if they don't, then they would go down the no path. All right, so I'm just going to exit this. And now we'll look at how you can actually create emails. So now you know how to create contacts. Oh, and I should have covered this before. I went over how to create a contact, but I said that there are 3 ways to add contacts to your CRM, and you can do it like that. You can import contacts, which involves importing a list from like a CSV list, a spreadsheet. And you can also get them in, of course, through opt-ins, and that's when we have our rules, like, you know, funnel step subscribed, and that adds someone to a campaign. And so now let's take a look at how to create newsletters and campaigns. So I'll just go to newsletter first. We'll say create a newsletter. And so we need a subject. I'll just say test. We need a sender name. Just say my name. And then you can choose either the visual editor or the classic editor. I haven't actually tried the classic editor because generally visual editors are much better, and theirs is really nice. So I'm just going to use the visual editor with this template and say create. So now it's going to pull this template in for me, and as you can see over here, I can drag and drop new elements if I want, anywhere I want. And I can click in here and edit the content. If I want to change an image, just click there, and I would go over here to change the image. It's all pretty simple. You can add columns, you can add sections, you can view it on mobile and back on desktop. And after you make any changes, you just hit Save Changes. And when you're done, you exit. And then this takes you out to this screen, which is where you can add attachments to the email. And this is really important for if you're delivering a digital product like an ebook. You can add it as an attachment to an email and fulfill it that way. And then here we have send emails only to contacts who are registered over blank days ago. So if you want to segment your list based on when people were registered, you can do that really easily right here. Or you can do it by selecting tags to include or exclude. So if I included this one, then that tagged person would be included. And if I select this, then they would not be included. All right, so I'm just going to cancel that. And now we'll take a quick look at campaigns, which are a little bit different. So I have one campaign here, And to create another one, I just click on create, and it needs a name, and you can put in a description as well if you want. Call this test camp, say save campaign, and then I just need to click on the name, and it'll take me into the campaign, and then I can add an email. And remember, I said that campaigns are basically sequential series of autoresponders. So if I say add an email, it's going to need my name, and it's going to need a subject, and then of course I can select the visual editor or the classic editor. I'll take this template this time, and it's going to come in here again. And if I like it the way it is, which of course I'd want to change the content, but I don't need to save anything, I can just say exit. And then same thing, you can add attachments. Oh, I didn't mention the other one. They have these substitutes where if you put in like curly bracket email, then it would include the person's email. So basically, just any fields that you have, any information that you have about them, you can include it dynamically so that you can send, so you can say hi first name to everyone and use their actual first name. And so if I were to save and publish, then it'll ask me what to delay before sending the email. Since this is going to be the first email, I'm just going to say 0. And then right here you can say, you can specify a time when the email should be sent, like a time of day, or you can specify days of the week when the email should be sent. So you can just turn off any days of the week that you don't want to send emails on. Like for example, if you wanted to only send specific emails during weekdays. So now I'll just say publish. And now this goes right here. And I can add another email really quickly. Oops, that's my name. And we'll say create. We'll say exit. And then save and publish. And now I'm going to specify a delay. So I'm going to say 1 day after the first email and publish this one. So now what we have is 2 autoresponders. This one would trigger, see there's a 0-minute delay here, so this one would trigger immediately after they subscribe to the campaign, and then this one would trigger a day after this one goes out. So that's how you can set up a really simple series of autoresponders in order to nurture your contacts, provide them with more information, provide them with more value, make additional offers. And if you want to set up complex automations, then you just need to come back to the Automations tab and use either a rule or a workflow to create something that's a little bit more unique and custom than just a list of autoresponders. Anyways, that is pretty much how you use email marketing with Systemeio. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will be back soon with another video. I think next we're going to take a look at how to use the landing page builder in Systeme, and after we do that, then we will have specific videos about how to do affiliate marketing, how to sell digital products, and how to sell services with Systemeio. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you in the next video.